Ranger! No!
What's my stuff?
Shall we down the bike?
Where's she got it? Who must go? Ranger!
Yeah, both of you guys.
Ranger!
No, you pass. Look at the one. All right, all right. There goes Benjo back to Cuba. Yes. Registration! Registration!
No, hold on.
Registration!
So,
Cabinet must resign. Cabinet must resign. Cabinet must resign. Cabinet must resign. Card election. No. Card election. No. Card election. No. Cabinet must resign. Cabinet must resign. Cabinet must resign. Cabinet must
Yeah, we are here this morning
Cabinet must
protesting against the government because we want the president to dissolve parliament and to proclaim a date for election. We are now 7 months have completed since the no confidence motion. The CCJ has made its ruling on June the 18th and with consequential order on July the 12th. And as such, we have to have elections between June the 18th to September the 18th. If election have to be held before September the 18th, then the president ought to call a date for elections now. Dissolve the parliament and call a date for election. So the support and the number of persons, the large number of persons you are seeing here is as a result of people are demanding that the government or the president proclaim a date for elections now. That is all for this morning.
Oh, you can only get the
Hello. What's name? Hey.
Right there. Me myself, but I could hear that if they were talking.
I can't hear you calling that
The government must respect The government must respect the Constitution. The government must respect the Constitution. The government must respect the Constitution. Call election. 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 Keep behind your line.
Remove it.
Now, the man said, "No, you all can wrong information." The man said, "Don't move from down from this over." That's all he gets. So let's be peace here. Now, election. No. Election. 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 Cabinet vote. Resign. Resign. Cabinet vote. 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 Resign. No. No.
Today, the People's Progressive Party Civic is conducting a peaceful picketing. Our main objective is that we're asking President Granger to resign. His cabinet should resign. He should name a date for election, and we prepare for the elections. So we want election within the stipulated constitutional deadline. That is in September 18. So we're asking the caretaker government to call elections now, resign, respect the constitution, respect the ruling of the CCJ. I think it's time that democracy prevail in our country. Our people need to raise their voice against the creeping in of authoritarian rule. Thank you.
Election! Watch it!
Thank you.
Yes, well, we're here calling on the president to comply with our constitution and the rulings of the CCJ, that he and his cabinet should resign now, and he should call an elections date now. As has been emphasized and reiterated, he has the requirement to set an election date and demand that GCOM comes in line with it. And Mr. Lowenfield, the CEO, having recently admitted that the list could be refreshed when the lawyer from the GCOM had previously stated so, that opens the door to an election possibly by September the 18th.
must go. Call election. No. Call election. No. Call election. No. Call election. Caretaker government. Caretaker government. Caretaker government. Caretaker government. Cabinet must. Cabinet must. Cabinet must. Cabinet must. Cabinet must. Cabinet must. No! Call election! No! Call election! No! Call election! No! Respect our Constitution! Respect our Constitution! Respect our Constitution! No! Call election! No! Call election! No! Call election! No! Call election! No!
Are you back in line? Yes, I You just start.
Yes. This morning we're here demonstrating this government is illegal and needs to be removed immediately. And his Kubat needs to remove from power immediately and call election. We need an election in Guyana. As you can all see, the tons of people who are out here, thousands of people who are out here, and it's calling for election. This is not about PPP, APNU. This is about the Guyana's constitution. And this government is illegal. We need to ensure that this government is removed. No house-to-house election. We have to make sure that an election is called on September 18th. Regardless of what, please, Mr. Granger, remove from Parliament, have your ministers resign, and call an election. We have already appointed a GCOM chairman. Let the GCOM chairman do her job. You have to remove yourself from power. It's a respect to the people of Guyana. Show some respect. You're a man of God, as you claim. You pray in front of the church, in front of the minister. You need to show some respect to the people of Guyana. Thank you.
And young man is from a take out sunlight good for the body, you know.
What protest we doing, Linden? We try to carve his body here right now.
Yeah, please come out so that we not get a big space. The cabinet must. The cabinet must. The
election now! Call election now! Call election now!
Today, the People's Progressive Party is joining thousands of Guyanese, including civil society, as we continue to protest the government actions or inactions not to call elections. As you're aware, the Caribbean Court of Justice would have ruled on the 18th of June, saying that the no confidence motion was valid and Article 106.6 and 106.7 must be upheld. And that is the President and Cabinet must resign and call elections within 3 months. It means that September 18th is the due date for the President to constitutionally call elections. We are aware that, I don't want to say GCOM, we are aware that the CEO, Mr. Lowenfield, has embarked on an illegal house registration. An order was issued stating that the house registration will be from the 20th of July to the 20th of October. That is 1 month after the constitutionally due date for elections. So what Mr. Lowenfield is definitely doing is taking this country into a constitutional crisis. And what Mr. Granger will preside over is an illegal government that is trying to flout the Constitution and the ruling of the Caribbean Court of Justice. So we are demanding that the President dissolve Parliament now and set an election date so that within the time frame set by the Caribbean Court of Justice and with respect to our Constitution. We are saying election is constitutionally due by September 18th. We are further saying that the voters list can be sanitized and can be valid again by a process of claims and objection. There is no need for the illegal house registration. As a matter of fact, the illegal house registration will deregister thousands of Guyanese. Thousands, and that is the aim of this exercise. It is to disenfranchise people and not for what they say to put people on the list. So that is why we are out here today and we are demanding early elections.
Well, we are out here to tell Mr. Granger that he no longer has the power to manage our country. He is now a caretaker president. His only job is to call election. He's passed the deadline for the date. He must go, he must resign. The fact he's embarrassing our nation, he's hurting our economy, he's hurting our people, and it's time for us to have election, and we want elections now before September 18th, and Mr. Granger has to realize he's on borrowed time. He cannot continue to govern Guyana. The majority of our population, the majority of the nation on December 21st told Mr. Granger they have no confidence in him and his government. He's been stripped naked of his powers, and it's time for him to call elections, and it's time for us to put back the administration that will take our country into this next decade, bring the economic boom that we're looking forward to, and vote PPP in the next elections.
No. Cabinet must resign. No. Government must resign. No.
Yeah, well, today again, I think what you're seeing here is an uh, increasing number of Guyanese coming out here in their numbers to demonstrate and in protection of our constitution and protection of the rule of law. Every single protest we have had since we started this exercise, the numbers are growing. Look at the massive number of persons out here this morning. And I think if this government cannot respond now to the cry of the people, to the call of the people, return to our country. Our country is in a state in a state of chaos. The business community, residents, families, everyone are complaining. And look at this protest, the massive nature of this protest this morning. And I think the government ought to hear the message loud and clear now. The government must dissolve the cabinet, and the cabinet must resign. The cabinet must resign. The parliament must be dissolved, and the president must name the elections date. That is what has to be done immediately. This was already supposed to be completed. It is not completed as yet, and I think the government has a responsibility to the people of Guyana to have this done immediately. The mere fact that you have growing number of persons out here every single week demonstrating and calling on the government to do this is a shame. It's a shame for Guyana. It's a shame for the cabinet. It's a shame for the president that the international, the world has to see this. That we have a government that seems bent on not adhering to the constitution, not adhering to the rule of law, and not adhering to democratic norms. That is what is happening here.